company.
Tonight on CTV3 News, 14-year-old teen from San Pedro is impregnated by a 23-year-old man who is charged for unlawful sexual intercourse. Prime Minister John Briceño returns from his trip to the Vatican and mourns the death of Espat. Attorney O.J. Elrington faces disbarment from practicing law. And the Belize High School of Agriculture obtained second place in the Ministry of Agriculture's gardening competition. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Wednesday, April 24th, 2024.
For 19 years, SMART has been the pulse of our nation. A journey of growth, innovation, resilience, and unity.
From the first call that bridged distances to the data that brought us closer than ever, SMART has been there, weaving threads of connection across our beautiful land.
We have been active in providing innovative solutions to enhance our customers' lifestyles. Over the years, SMART has developed and provided various services to meet customers' needs.
To the dreamers, doers, and the believers, thank you for making SMART a part of your story. For 19 years of trust, loyalty, partnership, and shared experiences.
As we celebrate 19 years of connecting lives and dreams, let's keep the rhythm alive. Together, let's continue to shape our future one connection at a time.
Come and be a part of the SMART family, where we empower you and our country today, tomorrow, and beyond.
SMART, bringing people together.
As I look out on the audience, I see many of the artists whose works are represented in this first display. My respect to each of you for contributing to Belize's creative and intellectual inheritance. I also offer my admiration and respect to those artists represented in the museum who have passed on. Their work lives on as sources of inspiration and education. For the many hundreds of artists who are not in the first show, I say that it is not our intention to develop a culture of exclusion or gatekeeping. Just the opposite. We see this space as one of liberation.
The following is a message from the Central Bank of Belize. The High Court of Belize, by a decision issued on 15 April 2024, dismissed the challenge to the Registrar of Credit Unions' appointment of an administrator to St. Francis Xavier Credit Union Limited and affirmed that the appointment was lawful. On 10 March 2023, the Governor of the Central Bank of Belize, in his capacity as Registrar, acting in accordance with Section 61 of the Credit Unions Act, appointed an administrator to CFXCU. The appointment was made after the Registrar concluded that certain administrative and operational problems facing SFXCU may jeopardize the stability of the credit union. This conclusion was made following a thorough examination of the affairs of the credit union, including 2 independent investigations as well as a special examination conducted by the Registrar's Office. The examination reports concluded that, inter alia, there were significant deficiencies in credit risk management, internal audit functions, and internal control mechanisms. The reports also highlighted numerous breaches of CFXCU's established policies, procedures, and bylaws, contraventions of the provisions of the Credit Unions Act, and an apparent culture of self-dealing and failures of senior management. Based on the conclusions of the examinations, the registrar sought to engage the Board of Directors of SFXCU from as early as June 2022 to implement corrective measures to address the deficiencies in management and to mitigate the risk to depositors posed by the systematic problems uncovered. The attempt to engage the board proved unsuccessful, despite a lengthy period of communication which lasted several months. The board either refused or neglected to implement the necessary measures which the registrar had concluded were necessary to safeguard members' funds. In the opinion of the registrar, the board was either not disposed or equipped to discharge the fiduciary duties owed to members of SFXCU to safeguard their interests. Following the appointment of the administrator in March 2023, 7 of the 8 members of the board of SFXCU, then constituted, and the general manager, Rafael Dominguez, the claimants, brought a legal challenge to the appointment of the High Court of Belize, alleging, among other things, that the appointment was unlawful, in breach of the provisions of the Credit Unions Act, in breach of the requirements of natural justice, and otherwise in violation of the claimant's constitutional rights. On 15 April 2024, the High Court of Belize issued a decision dismissing the challenge to the registrar's appointment of the administrator and affirming that the appointment was lawful in accordance with the provisions of the Credit Unions Act and not in violation of the principles of natural justice or the claimant's constitutional rights. The decision of the High Court vindicates the registrar's appointment of an administrator to SFXCU, and the registrar is grateful that the court saw it fit to dismiss the legal challenge to the said appointment. SFXCU currently remains under administration, and the registrar wishes to notify the public that significant steps have been taken since the appointment of the administrator to address the systematic issues which necessitated the appointment. The registrar will continue to discharge its statutory mandate to inspect, inquire into, and supervise all credit unions to safeguard the interests of members. This is a message from the Central Bank of Belize.
Good evening with your news also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. A disturbing story is coming out of San Pedro tonight. CTV3 News has learned that a 14-year-old has been confirmed to be pregnant. The teen reported to police that she had sexual intercourse with a 23-year-old man she identified as Nelson Canol back in December of last year, 1 week before Christmas. According to the teen, she was living with Canol at the time. The minor was examined by a medical doctor who confirmed that she is almost 5 months pregnant. Nelson Canol has been arrested and charged with unlawful sexual intercourse with a minor. On Monday, Belizeans received the sad news that Minister of State in the Ministry of Finance, Economic Development and Investment, Mike Espat, had passed after suffering a massive heart attack. Espat was one of the longest-serving area representatives in the government of Belize, first winning the Toledo East seat in 1989, again between 1998 and 2008, then from 2012 to present. He served as Minister of Agriculture, Cooperatives, and other key sectors. But his main focus was always to bring progress to the people of Toledo East. Today, as he arrived at the Philip Golson International Airport from his trip to Rome, Prime Minister John Briceño expressed condolences to the family of Espat and to the people of Toledo East. He also outlined how his last meeting with Espat went.
Well, I had a meeting with him on the Monday before I left at his office, and we had a great meeting. We did not speak about his future. We were just talking about some of his concerns in Toledo East, and also on how his views on the issue of the Mayan indigenous rights, the issue of the land, how that's going to be, how that will be able to work out, and he's expressing some of his concerns. I must tell you, I was shocked actually because he looked quite healthy, his usual self, you know, that smile sometimes, that sly smile in some of the things that he was saying. So it was beyond words when I heard that he had a massive heart attack and that he passed away. I must quickly add that I said it in the National Assembly in the House for the budget debate, recognizing the tremendous work that Mike Espat has done since he offered himself for electoral politics in 1989. But we forget that he was a public servant. Even before that, he was a teacher, he was a principal, so he was always about public service, and we must never forget that. And I hope that younger politicians and people that are aspiring to represent people to look at him as an example of what it is to do public office, that it's humility, it's hard work, and love for the people that you represent, and love for your country. He loved Toledo East, he loved Toledo District, he loved Belize, and of course he loved his party. I don't think we should be discussing that at this moment. Right now we need to recognize the tremendous work and life of service of Mike Espat. We should respect the mourning period of the family. We have time to deal with all of that, and as a party we will deal with that after we have put him in his resting place, which will be in PG. I'm told, I think it will be next week Wednesday.
The government plans a state funeral, right?
The government is planning, it is an official funeral. I'm told that only heads of state and Governor General gets state funeral, be it present or retired heads of state. All of officials get, or members of the House would get an official funeral. But I think that Mike might be the only one that has died in office. You know, my father does have died, but they've already retired. So he died in office. But we are going to give him a proper send-off that he deserves.
As previously mentioned, Espat's death now triggers a by-election in Toledo East. So far, 3 persons have expressed interest in the seat, including Espat's son, Milhem. So, will the by-election bring rift to the People's United Party? For now, that is not a topic up for discussion, says the PM.
That's a matter that's being handled by Minister Henry Charles Osha, who is in charge of the elections and boundaries, and I am sure that I'm sure that there is some legitimate reason why it has not gone to the National Assembly, but I think he would be the best person to answer the question.
They say that they're planning an injunction if elections were to be called early before the redistricting process is completed. They are willing to file an injunction. Will you fight against that?
The scheduled Senate Special Select Committee sitting on the questionable circumstances surrounding the signing of the Portico definitive agreement was postponed again on April 22nd. This time, the chairperson of the committee, Senator Janelle Chinona, explained that since Parliament is currently still in recess for the Easter holiday, the committee was advised that any decision coming out of its scheduled hearing may be subject to legal challenge. The committee decided to postpone the meeting until after May 5th, when the parliamentary recess will end. 3 persons were set to testify today. The signator to the agreement and main principal of Portico Enterprise Limited, David Gegg, one of the landowners at the project site, and also the former Chief Environmental Officer, Martin Alegria. During an interview, Chanona shared that the committee is committed to being transparent and executing the task at hand, That is, to produce a report based on the testimonies received at the hearing. She stated that she was notified by the National Assembly just a short time before the scheduled hearing that there would have to be a postponement of that session, which had been scheduled since late March. In responding to the letter, Chanona outlined the committee's terms of reference, which emphasized experience in the execution of the work by the committee to finalize these proceedings. On Sunday evening, a reply was sent to them which indicated that the decision had been made that all committee meetings, special and otherwise, were to be put off until the end of the recess period. Today, when questioned if the Senate Special Select Committee is being undermined by the government, Prime Minister John Briceño indicated that is not the case.
That's a matter that's being handled by Minister Henry Charles O'Shea, who is in charge of the elections and boundaries, and I am sure that I'm sure that there is some legitimate reason why it has not gone to the National Assembly, but I think he would be the best person to answer the question.
They say that they're planning an injunction if elections were to be called early before the redistricting process is completed. They are willing to file an injunction. Will you fight against that?
A few weeks ago, we told you about the initiative by the Ministry of Agriculture to host the first ever primary and secondary school garden competition. The national competition was launched with the aim to promote agriculture education and to inspire a passion for sustainable farming among the youths in our country. The nationwide competition was launched in tandem with the annual National Agriculture and Trade Show happening this weekend. And today we can tell you that one of Orange Walk's very own high school garnered second place. Norma Ruiz reports.
As students After weeks of work and a nationwide judging exercise by experts from the Ministry of Agriculture, Orange Walk's very own Belize High School of Agriculture, BHSA, located in the community of San Lazaro, was awarded second place nationally in the high school division for the first ever primary and secondary school garden competition. Today we visited the school where we got an opportunity to speak with Agriculture Director for the high school, Ernesto Pech, who shared more about the school's extensive agriculture program, which impressed the judges.
We do different maintenance activities here at school where we try to avoid weeds, since weeds mostly bring pests and disease to our plants. That's one of our main things that we look at. We control weeds. Secondly, other things that we do is different cultivation practices as well, where we, if you notice, we apply a lot of sawdust all over the place. One, it keeps the area more moist because of the dry weather that we are continuously having. It keeps the place more cooler for the plants. Two, it helps in mulching the plants. Apart from that, we do composting, and we actually add the organic material to the plants to help them with the nutrient uptake that they require. They also were looking for innovative ideas and doing recycling, which we also did. If you notice, we did a lot of little irrigation little containers using these different recyclable water bottles and different soda bottles that are recyclable, where we only do a little hole at the top and a little hole at the bottom, and we stick a Q-tip, and when you put it upside down into a piece of PVC, the water drips through the Q-tip, goes to the little cotton, and slowly it drips onto the plant. So that was something the students enjoy. We also practice labeling our plants with their common name, their scientific name, and the variety that is being used so that the students are aware of what they are planting, the type of plant they are planting, the variety, and its scientific name. Okay, our students learn the theory in class. That's done from first to third farm, mostly. Because in fourth farm, they mostly do animal science. But throughout first to fourth, students are involved in fieldwork activities on a weekly basis. They have either 1, 2, or 3 sessions per week to come out to the field. When they come out to the field, they go through a set of activities that entails the growth of the plant from the starting to the end.
As one of only a handful of agriculture high schools across the country, Petch says that BHSA prides itself in encouraging smart agriculture amongst its students, which promotes the productive sector as one of the vital pillars of our economy.
Okay, the importance of agriculture is, for me, without saying, it is something very important to instill agriculture into our young people. It's nothing like when a person learns how to produce a plant or a crop from the beginning to the end and be self-sustainable. This idea of agriculture for me is so important that without agriculture, not only our school but our whole country would fall. Agriculture is actually the backbone of most of our social and economical being, because as we saw before, when COVID came along, tourism fell, and what was sustaining us all this time was agriculture. So for me, agriculture is very important to be not only self-sufficient and self-sustainable, but also to be more resilient, to have a better Belize, a better community, a better society. In that idea of being resilient and always being progressive.
Named as one of the top school gardens in the country, according to Petch, validates the work of students and the school in promoting agriculture in Belize.
Well, being validated as one of the best makes us very proud, because what we do here at BHSA is something that we are proud of, because what we do is actually instill these different values of getting your hands dirty, of growing something, of producing something, and of being proud of actually doing so. We do work hard out here. So for them to have given us this has given us the opportunity as one of the winners makes us feel very good, because we know that all the hard work that we did actually did pay off.
First place in the high school competition went to Valley of Peace High School. Both schools will be awarded during the National Agriculture and Trade Show happening this weekend. Reporting for CTV3 News, Norma Ruiz.
The next general elections should be held sometime next year. However, the issue of redistricting has still not been addressed. The Belize Peace Movement has taken the government of Belize to court in an attempt to force the redistricting exercise, but that process is currently at a standstill. Members of the movement held a press conference earlier in April in which criticized the government of the day for the process being delayed. In that press conference, members of the movement also shared their intention to file a motion for enforcement of a consent order to deter an election to be called before the completion of the redistricting. Prime Minister John Briseno today responded to the concerns of the peace movement. Here is what he had to say about that matter.
That's a matter that's being handled by Minister Henry Charles O'Shea, who is in charge of the elections and boundaries, and I am sure that I'm sure that there is some legitimate reason why it has not gone to National Assembly, but I think he would be the best person to answer the question.
They say that they're planning an injunction if elections were to be called early before the redistricting process is completed. They are willing to file an injunction. Will you fight against that?
As I will always say, it is a free country, it's a democratic country, and it is within their right whether they want to take out an injunction or not.
Or will you fight against it?
When the time comes, we will decide what to do.
Coming up next, Camera Action. We take you to Muffles High School, where students prepare for Drama Fest 2024. Stay tuned.
Gran baile de verano, gran baile de verano. Yo a ti te comparo como una antena parabólica. Gran baile de verano. En Belice se presenta desde la hermana República de El Salvador, la internacional Sonora Dinamita. La parabólica, la parabólica, la parabólica, la parabólica. La internacional Sonora Dinamita. Qué lindo es tu cucú, tan bello tu cucú, redondito y suavecito. Viernes 3 de mayo en el People Stadium, Orange World, alternando con el conjunto del momento, Super Furia. Puertas abren a las 7 de la noche. Caballeros, $30 beliceños. Señoritas, $20 beliceños. Te esperamos en el Estadio del Pueblo. La internacional Sonora Dinamita y el conjunto del momento, Super Furia. No puedes faltar.
The April sale is now at Cellular World. Enjoy massive savings store-wide and take your luck when you get a chance to get cash back with our Scratch and Win Tickets giveaway. Ask about our unbeatable low prices guaranteed with budget phones starting as low as $49. Android starter phones starting at an all-time low price of just $115. Redmi gaming phones starting at $359. Samsung A-series lead offers starting at just $269. Fully backed up by 1-year local warranty. Plus, the newly added ZTE, Infinix, Logic, and Tecno smartphones now available countrywide. But that's not all. We've got you covered with something for everyone. Kids tablets, smart TVs, speakers, headphones, and earbuds, gaming consoles, smartwatches, accessories, and so much more. Visit any of our stores in Belize City, Belmopan, San Pedro, and now in Orange Walk to start shopping today. Or shop with us via our virtual store through Facebook, Instagram, or WhatsApp at 615-5141. Don't miss out. We got the deal for you.
One day, we decided to gather everyone who loves The Last of Us in one place. The naked and afraid fans, and well, everyone who loves realities. The ones who don't like spoilers, and the ones who do. And those who love Barbie and Peppa Pig. That place is called Max. Well, it's not an actual place. It's on your screens, and there's room for everyone. Max is here to bring you more of the stories that you love. Max, the one to watch.
Our legacy isn't how many commas we have in our bank account. It's who we're lucky enough to have in our lives and what we can leave them with.
Henry, remind me again why we can't put you in a gifted school.
Because it's better for my psychosocial development for me to interact with a peer group in a normal school environment.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Susan? I guess I could just set you up with direct deposit if that's easier.
I don't know. I'll have to ask Henry.
You have to ask your 11-year-old?
Did our financial statement come in the mail today?
Yeah, I forgot to give it to you.
I don't know how you do it all by yourself.
Come on, I have Henry. Find me another male of the species who's more grown up than him.
I'd like to.
This story, it's about me, my brother, my mom, and the girl who lived next door.
Henry and Peter, they're lucky to have you.
And your father's lucky to have you too.
Stepfather.
You okay?
I'm good.
Mom, I have to tell you something, and it's very important. Christine is in trouble. When someone hurts someone else, we have to make it better. There's only one way to stop it. I'd hope to do it all myself, but that's not an option.
There has to be another way to help Christina. Why there's no way to help.
Mr. Sickleman is the police commissioner. I'm not going to subject him to public scrutiny without conclusive evidence.
Okay, let's do this. Mom, everything you need is right here. I'll be with you the whole time. I know what you've done. Henry documented all of it.
What do you think they're gonna believe?
It can't be left undone. No matter what, don't panic.
I'm not panicking.
We have to make it better.
Come to this door and wait.
Do you want quick cash for your gold? Then take advantage of Monica's Pawn Shop's big loans on gold and our guaranteed low rate of only 10% on all pawn jewelry. But it doesn't stop there. We also pawn TVs, buy scrap gold, and pawn vehicles that you can still drive. Visit Monica's Pawn Shop today in our Belize City location at number 128 Cemetery Road, our Belmopan location at number 5 Garden Plaza, our Orange Walk location, number 2 Belize Carazal Road. Give us a call at 207-0970 and get more money for your gold jewelry.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Anthony Smith, and I'm here to introduce OneLink Mobile. OneLink Mobile is not just an app, it's a future way of payments in Belize. It's easy, it's fast, you can download it right now. Guys, if you don't believe me, let me pass you on to the lovely Miss Gomez, who can tell you a little bit more about the app.
Thank you for the introduction. Good morning, everyone. At Heritage Bank, our vision is to become the premier financial institution with cutting-edge technology that simplifies the financial life of our customers. The inception of OneLink Mobile aligns perfectly with this vision. We're excited about this strategic partnership because OneLink Mobile ensures each transaction is safe and private. Our joint efforts will put a powerful, user-friendly financial tool in the hands of the public. We feel that OneLink Mobile makes banking convenient like never before. By linking your debit or credit card, you can make payments to merchants and other OneLink users anywhere. Thank you for your time. Back to you, Anthony.
Thank you, Miss Gomez, for those great insights about OneLink Mobile. Now I want to pass you on to Mr. Sidney, who's an entrepreneur that's been using the OneLink Mobile.
Good day, everyone. My name is Sidney Perafit. I'm a licensed tour guide and also a construction consultant, among other things. And I want to tell you about OneLink Mobile. It is going to be a cash app that is going to revolutionize the way we make payments here in Belize. You can receive payments from abroad with just a click. So no longer do you have to wait for deposits. When you're booking tours, clients can pay you from their home. Also, in every other aspect, locally, you can make payments to each other face-to-face from the comfort of your own home. No longer do you have to transact with cash, worry about money wiring, etc. All of this is going to be in the palm of your hand. OneLink is going to revolutionize the way we do payments here. All right, back to you, Anthony.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sidney. Guys, if you don't have OneLink Mobile, get it right now, guys. It's free. You can download it right now. It's going to change the way how you pay in Belize. It's the future of Belize, guys.
Get ready for the ultimate agricultural extravaganza. Mark your calendars for the 26th, 27th, and 28th of April 2024 because the National Agriculture and Trade Show is coming to town. Hosted in Belmopan, the heart of our nation. This spectacular event takes place at the sprawling agriculture showgrounds, spanning over 60 acres along the breathtaking Roaring Creek. Prepare to be amazed as the 52nd National Agriculture and Trade Show unfolds under the electrifying theme of integrating sustainable food systems. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to witness innovation, celebrate agriculture, and be part of a movement towards a greener.
On Saturday, the 28th of April 2024, in the Vatican Apostolic Palace, Prime Minister John Briseno was received in audience by His Holiness Pope Francis. The PM subsequently met with His Excellency Archbishop Paul Richard Geiger, Secretary for Relations with States and International Organizations. During the cordial discussions which took place at the Secretariat of State, satisfaction was expressed for the good relations between Belize and the Holy See. The parties focused in particular on the commitment of the Holy Church in the fields of education and care for migrants. Attention then turned to some of the country's current socio-political issues, emphasizing the contribution that the Catholic Church and Christian values present in Belizean society can offer for the common good of the population. Today, Briseno told the media how significant the encounter with the Pope was for him as an individual and as a politician.
To me, it's one of the highlights in my life to meet such a humble and holy man. And we had an opportunity to be able to speak of a number of issues. I was fortunate that we had just a one-on-one, and we had an interpreter, but we spoke in Spanish, so I was happy that I could speak in Spanish with him. And so we went beyond the time that was allotted to me. And I spoke about Belize, and I spoke about us, my family, my mother, who was a very religious person, believing in the Catholic faith. And of course I asked him to pray for Belize, to pray for my family, to pray for all of us. And I ended up by extending an invitation to visit Belize. And I said by visiting Belize, there's a large group of people, from Guatemala, Mexico, Honduras, El Salvador, to be able to come and to see him. And he said he'd wish to come. Hopefully someday he'll be able to come, but we shall see. When I get back to the office, I do plan to write a meeting thanking him and also reminding him about the invitation that I extended him to come to visit Belize.
So I know while you're abroad, you're still...
Attorney Orson O.J. Elrington has been summoned to appear before the General Legal Counsel, GLC, on May 24th after evidence was presented amounting to grave professional misconduct. His appearance before GLC will be for him to present reasons why the sanctions for such behavior should not be levied against him. The matter goes back to September 2023 when Pastor Dozie contracted Elrington to file a claim against Social Security Board for survivors' grant benefit that was not paid to him when his wife died in 2021. A widow's pension settlement was reportedly reached between SSB and Elrington in the sum of $46,588, which was paid directly to Elrington in early October last year. To date, the monies have not been paid to Pastor Dozie, which is one of two factors that led to the intervention of the General Legal Counsel. The second issue is that Dozie reported to the council that he had not consented to the settlement and that he had only signed one engagement letter with Elrington. Dozie was able to provide evidence to the council, including original documents and WhatsApp conversations with Elrington, while Elrington was unable to do the same. In its written ruling, the GLC noted that they had found inconsistencies in Elrington's testimony and had raised concerns over his reliance on a paralegal to handle clients and legal processes. We understand that the council has referred the case to the police for further investigations, including the authenticity of the second engagement letter that Dozie denied signing. The council noted that these findings have now highlighted the gravity of Elrington's actions and brings his credibility into question. Elrington now faces being barred from practicing law and or a fine to be determined by the council. Interestingly, coming out of this case with the SSB was the recommendation by the board of the government to amend the SSB Act to ensure equal treatment of men and women with respect to claims made for a survivor's grant. Last week, the government of Belize and the U.S. government's Millennium Challenge Corporation, MCC, successfully completed the formal negotiations on a $125 million U.S. grant agreement called the MCC Belize Compact on April 17th at MCC headquarters in Washington, D.C. after much challenges. The MCC Belize Compact aims to assist the GOB in addressing key constraints to economic growth in the education and energy sectors. The GOB will also invest $40 million as a counterpart contribution over a period of 5 years towards the Compact's goals, in addition to the project total of $125 million. The Compact will consist of 2 projects, the Education Project and the Energy Project, both of which will be implemented by a new Belizean entity called the Millennium Challenge Account, Belize MCA Belize. For transparency and accountability, GOB agreed to establish the entity as a statutory body. Today, Prime Minister John Briseno told the media he is elated that his team was able to close the deal.
Well, I think it's historic that it is our government, that 1 year after we were in government, the United States government saw fit to sign a compact with the issue, the Millennium Challenge Corporation, the MCC. They look at the government, they look at what they're doing, they look at how we're handling the economy, the issues of the private sector, the issues of transparency and accountability, and they saw that we have been doing the right things. And so since 2021, I think it was in December 2021, we've been negotiating as to what is it that we want. We immediately said the 2 main things that we want to address is the issue of education and energy. We didn't have to go through a long process of consultations, and that's what we did. The negotiations were finalized, and it comes up to a total of $250 million Belize grant, of which 80% is going to be invested in education and 20% into energy. Now that that has been finalized, it will go to the U.S. Congress for it to be ratified, and likewise it is going to come to our National Assembly for us to be able to ratify. So I'm quite excited, and I'm quite pleased, and I want to put on record my appreciation to the U.S. government, to President Biden, certainly Ambassador Kwan, and all the people that have helped us to make this possible.
The objective of the proposed education project is to equitably increase the number of post-primary graduates with competencies relevant to current and anticipated labor market demands by transforming teaching and learning, promoting access to and progression through secondary education, and strengthening the capacity, legal, and institutional framework of the TVET sector. In the case of the proposed energy project, the objective is to decrease the wholesale cost of electricity and ultimately the retail tariff by improving governance capacity, supporting Belize to implement its utility, scale renewable energy expansion plans, and enabling the government, businesses, and households to make investments in distributed generation and improve energy efficient practices. If you are a lover of creative arts, Muffles College High School has a very special treat for you this Friday, April 26th, as they host the return of their biannual Drama Fest with a presentation on the story of Anansi. The event promises to bring excitement and suspense as students from all levels bring to life the dramatic tale by Alistair Campbell, which raises the serious topic of slavery with a balance of tragedy and comedy.
As students and teachers carried out final preparations and rehearsals for Open Curtain on Friday, our news team stopped by to learn a little more about what we can expect from this year's Drama Fest production.
Well, it's kind of a stressful day today, but we are quite excited as we put the last minute details to our play. As you can see behind me, the practice, we're getting this set ready. Students, as I speak, are working towards the different props and sets, finishing the setting that's on stage. We are practicing today, and this day, today and tomorrow, will be very crucial because we need to finish with the lines, we need to polish the last details of our actors. But so far, we're confident that it's going to be an amazing play. We are doing Anansi by Alistair Campbell, a very serious play with a touch of humor, since it brings out the folklore of Anansi.
Drama Fest is a tradition which Muffles College High School is bringing back to life here in Orange Walk Town as they seek to share the creative arts with their students and the community at large.
Well, it is important. I mean, for the students, I mean, it helps them personally. At the same time, we try to inculcate into them this culture of the arts. It's a dying thing in Belize to a certain extent, or it's more centered in Belize City. So we try here at Muffles to keep it alive. We try to promote it. We bring out one of our literature books alive every 2 years, put that on stage. So it is important for our students that because we promise them that once they apply to Muffles, we will develop these students holistically. And this is one of the approaches that we do, because the students that are not acting, they are creating, they're designing costumes, they're sewing costumes, they are building the set. So we use them in every area. So this entire production was basically done and put together by students just with the guidance of the language department.
With only a few days left until the big day, today some of the students who will be taking the stage on Friday shared some of their experience while they prepare and what we can expect from this dramatization.
I can't say too much, but all I could say is bring everyone, because you're in for a treat. You're going to laugh, you're going to cry. You're in for a good full play.
Well, as my friend said before, memorizing the lines has been a challenge, especially with schoolwork as well, having to balance it out. But once you're able to find that balance, it's really easy to move forward.
What's been your favorite part so far, preparing for the big show on Friday?
I guess my favorite part would be interacting with all the other actors here, especially behind the scenes. We have a lot of fun.
So I am Anansi from Story 2. When you guys sit and hear and watch Story 2, you will see that for once, Anansi is not the hero. Anansi has a different approach here. Anansi is not tricking anyone, or is he? Is Anansi taking credit for something, or did he actually do something? Being a main character of a play is a big deal, but when we see each other and our own personalities, we resemble Anansi in one way or the other, be it by personality or by behavior. We somewhat have a part of Anansi, hence I believe we felt that we were right for the role, and the teachers also chose us for this.
Lastly, just tell us a little about what we can expect from you as Anansi and, just the entire play on Friday.
Well, you're gonna be laughing, crying in some places too, and overall having a total comedic relief along with hearing about a really serious issue in a well-balanced form.
Off the stage, there are also students who are in charge of a variety of different aspects that will help to bring the story to life. Today, we spoke to some of the students who are responsible for stage props, which also play a major role in every stage production.
Well, we have been trying to perfect the scenes that we're supposed to have for the play. So that actually took a lot of concentration to make sure when we paint, we have the exact colors to paint for each side if we run out.
In my opinion, the challenges were mainly the painting, the colors, to get them the same, and making sure everything looks together and not they're from two completely different sets, because you have to make sure it all comes together at the end.
So far, in my experience, I've been working for at least 2 weeks on this. Every day after school, at least an hour working on the background, mostly the trees. and the ship and everything. When you come for like the actual play, you're gonna be able to see everything like in the spotlight, where the actors are there, and it's really gonna make it shine that day.
The reason why I really I joined this is because I really want to like show off my artistic skills and show like what's my creative side, like what I like to do, like to show to other people like my hobby, like everything about what I like to create, and show it to like everyone and express it in a simple like, drawing or a simple painting, like as a background.
As a final year student and one of the main actors in Friday's play, Naleen Chacon says her portrayal of the tiger will be one you don't want to miss.
Oh, that experience has been wonderful. I had a lot of fun interacting. I actually managed to get close with the actors as well. I got to know their names and which class they're from. It's very fun because they're also very funny since I am working with the clever trickster, which is Anansi. So we're having a lot of fun joking around. The one that every time we show up to set, I'm like, you ate my fat. He's like, no, Ratbat ate your fat. It wasn't me, from the play. And I find it very funny and fun.
Lastly, Naleen just talked to us about what the persons coming to see you guys on Friday, what they can expect from you, Tiger, and just from the entire play.
They can expect from the entire play from being comical, but at the same time sad. Because before, I don't want to spoil too much, but let's just say it has some sad moments before the comical comes in. It goes intertwined between each other. And that's what they could expect. And what they can expect from me is a great performance, obviously.
Reporting for CTV3 News, Norma Ruiz.
The doors of Muffles College Auditorium open at 6 p.m. on Friday. Tickets are currently on sale for $10 for adults, while primary school children enter for free. And there is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
Gran baile de verano, gran baile de verano. Yo a ti te comparo como una antena parabólica. Gran baile de verano. En Belice se presenta desde la hermana República de El Salvador, la internacional Sonora Dinamita. La parabólica, la parabólica, la parabólica, la parabólica. La internacional Sonora Dinamita. Qué lindo es tu cucú, tan bello tu cucú, redondito y suavecito. Viernes 3 de mayo en el People Stadium, Orange World, alternando con el conjunto del momento, Super Furia. Puertas abren a las 7 de la noche. Caballeros, $30 beliceños. Señoritas, $20 beliceños. Te esperamos en el Estadio del Pueblo. La internacional Sonora Dinamita y el conjunto del momento, Super Furia. No puedes faltar.
One day, we decided to gather everyone who loves The Last of Us in one place. The naked and afraid fans, and well, everyone who loves realities. The ones who don't like spoilers, and the ones who do. And those who love Barbie and Peppa Pig. That place is called Max. Well, it's not an actual place. It's on your screens, and there's room for everyone. Max is here to bring you more of the stories that you love. Max, the one to watch.
Comunicado de prensa. El Tribunal Supremo confirma el nombramiento del Banco Central de un administrador para la St. Francis Xavier Credit Union Limited, Ciudad de Belice, 16 de abril 2024. El Tribunal Supremo de Belice, mediante una decisión emitida el 15 de abril del 2024, desestimó la impugnación del nombramiento por parte del registrador de cooperativas de crédito de un administrador para St. Francis Xavier Credit Union Limited y confirmó la legalidad del nombramiento. El 10 de marzo del 2023, el gobernador del Central Bank of Belize, en su calidad de registrador, actuando de conformidad con la sección 61 del Credit Union Act, nombró un administrador para St. Francis Xavier Credit Union. El nombramiento se realizó después de que el registrador concluyera que ciertos problemas administrativos y operativos a los que se enfrentaba St. Francis Xavier Credit Union podrían haber puesto en peligro la estabilidad de la unión de crédito. Esta conclusión se tomó tras una examinación exhaustiva de los asuntos de la unión de crédito incluyendo 2 investigaciones independientes, así como una examinación especial realizada por la oficina del registrador. Los informes de la examinación concluyeron, entre otras cosas, que existían deficiencias significativas en la gestión del registro de crédito, las funciones de auditoría interna y los mecanismos del control interno. Los informes también destacaron numerosos incumplimientos de las pólizas, procedimientos y estatutos establecidos de St. Francis Xavier Credit Union, contravenciones de las disposiciones del Credit Unions Act y una aparente cultura de autogestión y fallos de la alta gerencia. Basándose en las conclusiones de la examinación, el registrador trató de involucrar a la junta directiva del St. Francis Xavier Credit Union a partir de junio del 2022 para que implementaran medidas correctivas para remediar las deficiencias en la gerencia y mitigar los riesgos para los miembros planteados por los problemas sistémicos descubiertos. El intento de involucrar a la junta resultó infructuoso. A pesar de un largo periodo de comunicación que duró varios meses, la junta se negó o no cumplió con implementar las medidas que el registrador había considerado necesarias para proteger los fondos de los miembros. En la opinión del registrador, la junta no estaba dispuesta o preparada para cumplir con los deberes fiduciarios apropiados para los miembros del St. Francis Xavier Credit Union, con el fin de proteger sus intereses. Tras el nombramiento del administrador en marzo del 2023, 7 de los 8 miembros de la junta directiva del St. Francis Xavier Credit Union, constituida en ese momento junto con el director general Rafael Domínguez Sr., demandantes, impugnaron judicialmente el nombramiento ante el Tribunal Supremo, alegando, entre otras cosas, que el nombramiento era ilegal, infringía las disposiciones del Credit Unions Act, incumplía los requisitos de la justicia natural y por lo demás violaba los derechos constitucionales de los demandantes. El 15 de abril del 2024, el Tribunal Supremo emitió una decisión desestimando la impugnación del nombramiento del administrador por el registrador y confirmando la legalidad del nombramiento en conformidad con las disposiciones del Credit Union Act y no en violencia de los principios de justicia natural o de los derechos constitucionales de los demandantes. La decisión del Tribunal Supremo justifica el nombramiento por parte del registrador de un administrador para St. Francis Xavier Credit Union, y el registrador agradece que el Tribunal Supremo haya considerado oportuno desestimar la impugnación legal de dicho nombramiento. St. Francis Xavier Credit Union permanece actualmente bajo administración y el registrador desea notificar al público que se han tomado medidas significativas desde el nombramiento del administrador para remediar los problemas sistémicos que hicieron necesario el nombramiento. El registrador continuará cumpliendo con su mandato legal de inspeccionar, investigar y supervisar todas las uniones de crédito para proteger los intereses de los miembros. Fin de comunicado.
Get ready for the ultimate agricultural extravaganza. Mark your calendars for the 26th, 27th, and 28th of April 2024 because the National Agriculture and Trade Show is coming to town. Hosted in Belmopan, the heart of our nation. This spectacular event takes place at the sprawling agriculture showgrounds, spanning over 60 acres along the breathtaking Roaring Creek. Prepare to be amazed as the 52nd National Agriculture and Trade Show unfolds under the electrifying theme of integrating sustainable food systems. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to witness innovation, celebrate agriculture, and be part of a movement towards a greener.
A year ago, the think tank formed by a group of professionals from Corozal was born. The men and women that form the group are well versed in fields such as business, finance, engineering, economics, agriculture, architecture, education management, and environmental science. Their goal is to identify and secure funding for projects that will drive economic diversification and growth in the Corozal district. Thea Ramirez Garcia is a member of the group, and she provided us with more details of the work they hope to carry out.
And there's several proposals. For example, cabinet paper that came out a while ago and is being considered is the removal of some of the taxes for Mexican nationals that live within Quintana Roo, Yucatan, Tabasco, Chiapas, the south region of Mexico that is next to Belize, to perhaps bring them in as visitors and increase the tourism to Corozal. From those meetings, I know that 80% of the 80%, sorry, of the overnight tourism that comes into Belize, 20%
Ramirez says that with government's waiving of existing fees for residents of 5 Mexican states, a further economic boost for Corozal is expected. The team is also focusing on fostering gender inclusion and equity.
And there's several proposals. For example, cabinet paper that came out a while ago and is being considered is the removal of some of the taxes for Mexican nationals that live within Quintana Roo, Yucatan, Tabasco, Chiapas, the south region of Mexico that is next to Belize, to perhaps bring them in as visitors and increase the tourism to Corozal. From those meetings, I know that 80% of the 80%, sorry, of the overnight tourism that comes into Belize, 20% comes through the northern border. If you have, and then you have Mexicans coming in, and I think that last year the free zone recorded 1.3 million visitors last year. If we get 5% of that into Corozal district, that's still a lot of people, and those are people that come, and the statistics show that they spend on average somewhere about $95 US. So if you can do just a quick math, you can see that that is a significant economic force that we can well benefit from as Corozaleños and Corozal. So the idea is to look at areas where we can develop, where people have lots of ideas. Corozaleños have a wealth of knowledge, and more than that, we have the heart for Corozal to ensure that Corozal fulfills all of those greatest expectations and potential. You know, we have a lot of people from Corozal working across the country, and we want to bring them back home and ensure that our brain power stays here, because we feel that that's what's needed to develop Corozal. So,
if you would like to form part of a think tank, you can reach out to Tia Garcia Ramirez at telephone number 678-3210. Their next meeting is scheduled for May 2024. The U.S. Department of State released its 2023 country reports on human rights practices yesterday. It is a report that documents the status of respect for human rights and worker rights in nearly 200 countries and territories. In the case of Belize, the report indicated that whilst the Constitution of Belize prohibits torture and other inhumane punishment, there were credible reports that law enforcement agents employ these. According to the report, the Professional Standards Branch of Belize Police Department registered 99 formal complaints against officers of the BPD, representing a 43% increase of reports compared with 2022. The Professional Standards Branch resolved 46 of the complaints, while 38 others were under investigation and 15 cases awaited trial. The complaints included allegations of assault, wounding and harm, unlawful arrest and detention, extortion, theft, and preventing the course of justice. In addition, the Belize Police Department dismissed 10 officers as a result of these complaints, and several other officers were fined or reduced in rank after being found guilty of offenses committed. In the area of immigration, the report noted that the Human Rights Commission of Belize continued to raise concerns that several immigration offenders remained imprisoned despite paying the necessary fines and completing their prison sentences. The Commission expressed particular concern for the separation of children from migrant parents who served prison sentences for immigration offenses. During imprisonment, parents were unable to communicate with their children until repatriation proceedings were completed, which in most cases took more than 6 months, the report noted. The 2023 Human Rights Report also has highlighted commendable strides made by the government of Belize in upholding the principles of a free press. The Constitution provided for freedom of expression, including for members of the press and other media, and the government generally respected this right. An independent press and effective judiciary and a functioning democratic political system combined to promote freedom of expression, including for media members, the report cited. However, it noted that although the press was largely independent of government influence, most radio stations, television stations, and newspapers had strong editorial ties to either the United Democratic Party, UDP, or the governing People's United Party, PUP. The independent press was often critical of government officials with few signs of repercussions, it added. In addition, the report showed that the government of Belize did not directly censor media outlets or penalize those who publish items counter to government guidelines. Nevertheless, anecdotal accounts indicated some media outlets practiced self-censorship to appease certain politicians and powerful business persons who patronized the publications. The government did not restrict or disrupt access to the internet or censor online content. This acknowledgement underscores the importance of continued efforts to protect and promote press freedom as a cornerstone of human rights and democratic governance in Belize. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Thursday, April 25th here on CTV3 and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/CTV3BelizeNews or our YouTube channel at CTV3NewsBZ. Remember to wash your hands and remain safe. From all of us here at CTV3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.